Hey, what's up, y'all? Janae here. Welcome back to the It's Nay Lou channel. And we are here with Real Housewives of Atlanta season 17, episode 9. We are about halfway through the season. Um, yeah, we're just about halfway through. The ladies have been interviewing saying that they filmed the reunion in like 2 or 3 weeks, so middle end of June. So yeah, this season is wrapping one up. But let's go ahead and get into it. So the episode kicks off with the conclusion of Portia and Kelly's going back and forth. Portia called Kelly a big titty fly. And also, everybody's separated and all that stuff. And we find out that Angela had made it a point to reach out to K. Michelle, especially with all the tough times she was having last year being the rookie and all that stuff. So she understands when Drew was like, she was like, it must have been tough when Drew was like, oh, it's obvious you don't belong or whatever. But anyway, so at the end of all that, Kelly, Shamia, Kay, Michelle, and Pinky ended up leaving. Alrighty. Next scene we see, Shamia's at her parents' house and she's talking about the group is being divided and all that stuff. And her parents ask her about the surrogacy. How's that going? And to be honest, in my humble opinion, I don't think Shamia want any more kids. She said, when her and Gerald got married, they agreed to have a big family, 2 boys, 2 girls, so 4 kids. And, especially with their youngest being sick, it may not be ideal to have bring another child into their family, especially with Shiloh's health issues that she has and all that stuff. But we will see. We'll see where it goes. And we'll go over to, let's go on over to Kelly. Kelly goes over to Phaedra's house 2 days after the whole incident to apologize. Come to find out, Kelly in those big old jugs, she does not contain them. She says she don't wear no bra. I was like, Kelly, now, you need a bra. You ain't got no A cup where you could get away with it. You gotta shoot. So, Kelly, you definitely need a bra. But anywho, Phaedra said Kelly's boobs swing low, sweet chariot in her confessional. That was so funny. Phaedra's like, I don't want this group to be divided and all of that stuff. And Kelly does not think her and Portia will ever, ever come on one accord. And I don't know. And she shared with Phaedra, Kelly shared a little bit of what was going on with her, why she really wasn't in the mood. And then her and Portia thing just kind of sent her over the edge. She said, she can't film with her daughters, except her oldest one, because it's not by her ex-husband, and she's an adult. So, she can't film with her girls, and her girls are questioning, like, why can't we film? Like, are we not good enough and all that stuff? And so that has her stressed out, and she's got child support that she's missing. And then she brings up that her man Jarvis is present, and he's a good man. He's a good man, Savannah. Phaedra was like, would you bring him around the group? And she was like, absolutely not. And I was like, you know what? Can't even blame Kelly. And just like Phaedra said, this group be tearing apart relationships. So it's good. Yeah, keep that under wraps, Kelly. Keep that under wraps till you get married. Matter of fact, even after you get married. I mean, I know we talk about, how the ladies should not be, I'm sorry, my dog is in my peripheral and looking at the shoe rack, and I think he's gonna grab a shoe. So, but we talk, I mean, I guess it's a double-edged sword because we can't complain that Shamia's husband isn't on the show, and I don't know. So we see a scene with Pinky, her husband, her daughter Deella. They're having like a fashion shoot. She is the official face of Milano de Rouge, which is a clothing line. And Angela brings her daughter Arlie, who we know, adorable little chocolate girl, by the way, looked just like her daddy. She did New York Fashion Week and all that stuff. So, they're taking pictures and all that stuff. And then, of course, taking pictures and modeling would not be complete without Cynthia Bailey. So Cynthia comes in, she takes pictures with Pinky's daughter and all of that stuff. And so Angela and Pinky tell Cynthia what happened when she left. Because, Cynthia got the hell up on out of there. She said she had to catch a flight. So so anyway, they talk about it. They get into, they're getting into all of that stuff. And they get into the Shamia and Angela beef, which I don't think they need to have any beef. And Pinky tells Angela she does instigate things sometimes. She's the bone carrier this season. What y'all expect? But she does. I do like Angela, but yes, she does do the bone carrying. They convince Angela to have a conversation with Shamia. She's like, I guess I'll call Shamia. I was like, yeah, this is going to be a good ass reunion. We find out that Pinky and Portia had a conversation about the whole Kelly thing, but Pinky was talking so damn much that Portia was just like, all right, I'll go on and meet with her. Did I say Portia and Kelly? I meant Portia and K. Michelle. But anyway, so Kelly got some new teeth, courtesy of her man Jarvis. Why do they have to use that code name, Jarvis? Sound like an old country man. Jarvis. But Jarvis done dropped $70K on them teeth. I said dental work is a lot, period. But I was like, Jesus, $70,000 on some veneers? I will just stick with the teeth I got and take care of them and get my cleanings. Shoot. And get them white. How much it costs to get your teeth whitened? I'll get the whitening strips. But anyway. So he sent her some flowers at the dentist's office and gave her like this big old pendant with the girls on it. Cute gesture. I personally didn't like the pendant. I thought it was real big, but whatever. And Shamia was like, I would never introduce my bestie to a brokey. Ew. I said, okay, Shamia. We see a scene with Drew and the 5011 people on her team. Didn't care. Whatever. And Pinky, Cynthia, and Portia and Kay get together. Pinky and Cynthia go away for a little bit to give them a chance to talk. Seems like they're all right for the time being, but again, we're trying to get to the plot of it all. Now, here we go with this damn plot, because now all of a sudden, it's just Drew. And now all of a sudden, she done added to the plot. The plot was to know about Black, the whole lady part smelling funky thing, and now all of a sudden she added that her feet was long. I was like, who is gonna talk about your feet being long? But last but not least, we get to Angela and Shamia's scene. I honestly did not take any notes of it because I thought it was stupid and I thought it was dumb. First things first, Shamia walks in. She's like, I'm with, and the waitress says, are you looking for somebody? And she's like, yes, I'm looking for really tall, 6 feet size 12 lady. Now I Googled, because yes, Angela is a tall woman. And then I'm standing, like, you see them all like in a group and stuff. And I was like, Shamia is not that much shorter than her. So I Googled, I don't know if it's correct, but it says Shamia is 5'10". So if Angela is 6 feet, you only 2 inches shorter. So I don't get why the whole, and then she had interviews in between and she calls Angela big and burly and all that stuff. And I just don't understand it. It doesn't land for me because y'all are literally the same height. Am I the only one? Am I the only one who thinks this? But anyway, So the conversation was stupid, and Shamia ends up walking out. But again, to my point, you're saying you want resolve and all that stuff, but you not trying to move on. First of all, you get to the restaurant, you like, I'm looking for this 6 feet size 12 shoe, somebody da 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 da. So I'm like, do you really want to move? Excuse me, forward with Angela? Do you, Shamia? But anyway, so then she called Angela Sasquatch. Oh, they were talking about how Charles be outside because Shamia sees him outside. And Angela's like, well, you outside. Whatever. Again, I don't care. It's stupid. They should not even be beefing. But that was the episode. It was an okay episode, but let me know what y'all think. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see y'all on the next one. Later.